Right, are we ready for this? Episode 2. Hello and welcome to This Knitty Life. Thank you everyone who came last week. I really appreciate it. Who saw my first episode and the shares and all the love on Instagram. I really appreciate it. It's really nice to see kind of the numbers climbing throughout the week. Nerve-wracking and exciting. I admit I feel a little bit more nervous for this week than last week because now I know people are kind of watching and a few have subscribed, which is really good. So I've made a little bit of a list. I'll try not to fiddle as much. No one said anything, but I'm a bit aware that I did that. Put my hands under here. So you can find me on social media as Rewarding Memories on Instagram. That's a public account now. I've had loads of new followers this week, loads and loads actually, which is really nice. Mainly thanks to lots of people doing shout outs, Dusty Dimples, Carly, my friend Falula, loads of people actually, loads. It's been really nice. I have set up an Instagram for the podcast, which is This Knitting Life. No, it's not. It's This Knitty Life. So I've been posting a little bit more detail in pictures and videos and whatnot of certain things. So yeah, welcome. Hope everyone's had a good week. We've had quite the week. Both my children have been ill, flu symptoms, insanely high temperatures. So I didn't get my Monday to myself, which I normally do. And I'm feeling the consequence of that, which is why I'm recording today. So I'm trying to squeeze it in as well as all the things in theory I have to get done that I didn't get done because everyone was ill. But everyone's gone, as in back to school, back to work, back to nursery. So I thought, as I kind of jumped into it last week, I thought I'd give you a little bit of history. So I said I'm Rachel. I live in Leeds with my husband Rob and my children Martha and Theodore. And so I thought I'd give you a bit of knitting history really. So I've been knitting a long time. So I think I was about 6 or 7 and me and my mum and my granny and my sisters all started knitting The Scarecrow Family by Jean Greenhow, is it? So we all kind of knit those for fun and I think we ended up selling some actually. I was in charge of the mice. There's a little mouse that used to sit on one of the Scarecrow's shoulders. I was in charge of the mice and the caterpillar, which, you know, fair enough. But yeah, so I did that a lot when I was younger, but obviously you kind of fall out of it, so I didn't do it. I actually went to university and did fashion design studies, and I did a knitting module as part of the degree actually, but it was machine knitting, and it never occurred to me to hand knit anything as part of the collection. Built up quite a lot of muscles with the machines. It's like this backwards and forwards, it's intense. I did that at University of Lincoln, and that's where I met Rob whilst we worked at Blockbuster together actually. So that was 2003. So yeah, so I did that there. And then when did I start knitting? I think I started becoming a knitter with a capital K, as I like to call it. And I certainly earned my capital K in about 2000 and graduated 2006, maybe about 2008. I knit a Santa Claus for my mother-in-law. The big doll Santa Clauses, we've all got them. My mum made mine, my granny made some. So we've all got them. And when we moved in together in 2006 in Leeds, we got one for our first Christmas off my mum and dad. Well, my mum. So I made one for my mother-in-law. And that's kind of how it started. So I've got loads of pictures like from when we lived in one of our rented houses of me knitting in the garden and knitting on the train and like straight needles. It looks really dated now. It's hilarious. Yeah, and I think I pretty much knit every day since. I knit on my wedding day. I knit a wedding shawl, but it was boiling. Got married in September, but it was so hot. I did get a picture of me in my dress knitting though. But I've knit every day, I'd say, since. Despite having little babies, I knit over them while they were sleeping. Got a picture of me with Martha, tiny and completely zonked out on my knee, and I'm knitting a sock because socks are really good to knit over babies. She was at the doctor's this week and she was lying on my knee. Like, she's 6 now, and she was like lying baby style over my knee. And I just started knitting on a sock, and oh, how people stare. People really, really stare. Like I was, I don't know, having a bath in the middle of the room. Nobody asked me what I was doing, but they just still stare. Anyway, so that's a bit about my history with knitting. Before I did knitting, I did a lot of scrapbooking. So I know a few people who follow me were from the scrapbooking world, which is big, and my friend Shamel is still very much a big part of that, doing all her Friday lives, and she's got her Journal Your Christmas, which is coming up in 2 days now. It's December, so she does a Christmas book every year, and I've done that a couple of years. You can move that onto social media as well if you're interested, so go and have a look at Shamel. She's really good. So yeah, lots of scrapbooky friends, and that's one of the reasons I met Carly as well, actually. Carly, which is Falula, she's done a giant shout out on her podcast, which she's finally uploaded this week. It's called My Creative Daydream. She's done a lovely little, we love each other so much. I don't know what I'd do without her, basically. She's awesome. Anyway, she did a lovely shout out on her podcast, and she's got loads of subscribers, like 400 and something. She's like, oh, I don't care anymore. I was like, that's loads. Yeah, so that'll probably do, won't it? That's enough of an intro. I think I said last time I work part-time, so I work 16 hours. My hours are a bit jumbled up here and there. So I knit where I can in the evenings when the kids actually go to bed, but it's definitely a stress relief. I am kind of recovering a bit from anxiety and stuff. It's definitely a lot better. Carly has helped enormously with that. She's my rock. But it's definitely, I can feel myself getting twitchy. If I don't knit, I can definitely feel myself getting a bit, I need to knit. It definitely calms me down. Yeah. So on my little list, so I've done welcomes, intros, thanks, FOs. I've had a little bit of a week, actually, considering we haven't actually been out because the kids have been ill. But equally, they've needed me every single second of the day and night. Mummy. Right, so what have I finished this week? So one of my latest finished objects was for Martha. So Martha is 6, and I have knit this Prism hat for her. So this is Prism by Tin Can Knits. Actually, most of this is Tin Can Knits this week, and everyone loves Tin Can Knits. So this comes in newborn to adult. It's an awesome pattern. It's super duper easy. Quite a lot of people are worried about colour work, but it's an excellent one to start off with. This has got a lot of colours. There was a lot of ends. It's DK, and it's got a detachable pom-pom, actually, which, there we go. So it's got a doofer. It is wonky because I set my alarm early and went to work late, so she could have this for her school trip last week. Yes, so this is Prism. So I've used loads of bits and bobs from there. That's Rainbow Heirloom, bit of Malabrigo, bit of Skiing Queen, Black Elephant, Beehive Yarns, loads of stuff, bit of Spectrum in there, bit of Kate Celine at the top. Yeah, but I totally love it. But I made one for myself last year. So this one's mine and this one's hers. Quite similar, actually, obviously. This pom-pom was supposed to be for me, but I had to forego it for her. But this one's mine, and I wear it all the time, actually. It's one of my favourites. I think it does need a pom-pom. I need to order some more of those. I've got some coming, but I didn't actually order the pink for some reason. Anyway, but children being children, little Theo had his very sad face on. So I made him one. So I cast this on at Knit Night last Thursday. I go to Knit Night, which is part of Barham U, which is my, was my local yarn shop. And they have a weekly knit night at Chapel Allerton at the opposite cafe. So this is his hat. So this is Beehive Yarns at the bottom in Emerald City. I know it's Wizard of Oz related. And then just loads of bits and bobs, bit of Spectrum, bit of Beehive, and it's got a bit of, it's blue at the top. I asked him what he wanted. He wanted a hot pink pom-pom, which is fine, except I don't have one. So I'm waiting on some coming, actually. They'll be December because they're coming from China. But I've got a red one coming, a blue one coming. I've got greys, and I've got grey, black, and cream in a beigey colour at the minute, but he's not really a beige kind of guy. He likes his colour. He really likes his colour. He loves this neon. And then I knit this one a while ago, actually. And this is a Daddy Bear one. So we all match. So Daddy Bear, we all call ourselves bears. Mammy Bear, Baby Bear, and Tiny Bear. When I was pregnant with Theo, we always used to call him Tiny Bear. and Martha called him Tiny Bear for ages after he was born, and she wouldn't use his name, Tiny Bear, Tiny Bear. And we've got like loads of little bits that before he was born that say Tiny Bear on him. So yeah, this is Tiny Bears. And then Martha's. I cast on 100 for this actually. I think the pattern says 104, but ever the rebel. They could do with it being a smidge longer. I'm going to block them today. Well, it's 1:45 now. School pickup comes very fast. I'm going to block them actually because they do need a little, they could do with being a little bit longer really. But yeah, that's all of those. So that's 4 Prism Hats. Awesome pattern. Really easy. You don't have to use indie. You can use commercial. Any DK is fine. I did one for my friend last Christmas in Gryffindor colours, and I did use commercial, and I admit it wasn't as fun because it was just maroon and gold burgundy, and these are really fun because I love putting colour together and deciding what's next. The kids did pick some of them, like I want a yellow next, I want a blue next, woo, that kind of thing. But it's really fun, and it's a really fun way to play with colour and use your scraps as well. So if you maybe have an advent calendar that's DK coming up, these are awesome. So that is Tin Can Knits Prism. And along, I've got a squeaky chair, along Tin Can Knits, this is a jumper for Theo. So this is the Strange Brew jumper. It's there's a little sample in the book. The Strange Brew book by Tin Can Knits is all about customising your own colourwork jumpers basically, which is awesome. I have lent my friend Steph's Strange Brew book, which I am after one for Christmas off Santa, should Santa be watching. But this is a little sample that's already in there, and it gives you the chart. Have I got the book? Yes, organised. Brought the book too. So this is the book. So he keeps on picking new ones. So it's this one that I did actually, which is just a Strange Brew pattern. I really like this one and this one. But it's a gorgeous book, and I've always been tempted by this book actually. And I was just going to get it online, but it definitely makes more sense in a book form, and I'm really not a knitty book, knitty magazine kind of person. So it has like, say here, it says like top down yoke. What does that say? Top down, top down. So you can do your jumper, whether it be Aran, DK or sock. So obviously it does not 6 months to 4 times XL. And then it gives you all the details on how to do it. And you can do top down and you can do bottom up. And it has certain patterns in that are already done, like this one. Look at that. I think it's called Trek. That one's gorgeous. There's some patterns. So this hat, like that's all there. So you don't have to make that up. But it's definitely given me ideas of things you can do. It's amazing. It's a really, really good book. So I'd encourage anyone to get that. So his jumper is knit in drops. Fable? Is it Fable? Is it? No, that's the DK one. Oh, that's super annoying. I've got so much of this yarn. What is it called? It's Aran anyway, and it's drops, and it's commercial. It's got alpaca in it. It's really cheap. It's on offer at the minute on Wool Warehouse. What is it called? I've got loads and loads and loads of it. Anyway, I did sadly not end up with the same dye lot, but he's not worn it yet. So yeah, colour work was really easy. A lot of 1 by 1 there, and then just 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Really easy. I'm after making Martha one soon. But yeah, super cute. So he's going to wear that tomorrow, I think. And whilst we're on a Tin Can Knit spree, I finished this late last night. I nearly fell asleep. It's about 11 o'clock when I finished it. It's not blocked, as you can see. All the ends sewn in even. So this is the Mountain Mist. This is Tin Can Knits as well. This is an actual proper pattern out of the book. So this is what it looks like. So for the top, this is Die Candy in the Riot colourway. So I actually got these on a D-stash. I don't tend to buy indie Aran because you don't get very much because it's Aran. And it adds up, doesn't it? But I got these on D-stash. So I got this one. I've had it a while and I've not known quite what to do with it. So I used this one. The blue is a Malabrigo. And then the pinky purple is from Dusty Dimples, and I've knit Martha a Sunset Highway in this colour. I think it's called Out of Sight, Out of Mind. And she kindly gifted me this skein, which was really nice. We won't comment on the fact the sleeves look a bit different. And the body is in Le Bien Ami, which is in the Amy Sweater colourway. And again, I got this in D-Stash. There was a lady on a Facebook group, the Yarn Snobs Facebook group, D-Stashing loads of like top end dyers. So I've got loads of Le Bien Ami, loads of it, loads of Hedgehog, like £10 a skein, £12, like dirt cheap, like really cheap. Yeah, so this I've used 2 for the body. And I think this is a small medium. It is a bit cropped. I did play a yarn chicken, and I did have to improvise on the sleeves a little bit, but I think it looks really nice. I don't think I'm going to have enough time to block this to wear to the Yorkshire Yarn Show tomorrow. Yorkshire Yarn Fest, you know what I mean. Actually, it probably could do with a block. It's 1 o'clock. Let's see. I need to sew the ends in and then see if I've got time to block it and then just hammer it on a radiator or something. I block it in a washing up bowl and then I spin it in the washing machine. Not because it's on 1200 at the minute, so I would knock that right down to spin it just to get some excess water out of it. And obviously it's not sunny now because it's November. It's November 29th, by the way. It is 1 month and 1 day till my birthday, and I'm turning the worst number ever because I have a number issue and I don't like odd numbers. And I'm going to be 37. Like, it sounds funny, it looks funny to write. I don't mind about getting older in the slightest, but I've always had an issue with the number 37, and now I'm going to be 37. So that's marvellous. Yeah, so this is this. So I'm hoping to wear this tomorrow for the show. It's in Yorkshire Yarn Fest, which I'll talk about in a bit, is in a converted barn. So they said it's going to be chilly, so you can wear your knitwear. I'm going to do my best not to wear a jacket over it, because, you know, I'm from the northeast. So I'm going to layer up underneath it is my plan. So that needs some work today, but that's done as well. All the FOs this week. Don't expect this all the time. Right, this one is sock. Can you hear this chair? This was a bad idea. This is sock arm or arms sweater, and I've not wrote who it's by. I finished this ages ago for Theo. It's Theo sized. This is some deep stash. I actually think this is stash from my sister, which I pinched from her house because she now does gardening instead of knitting, which is unacceptable. But you're supposed to use self-striping for the arms. This does come in an adult size as well, but you do have to pay separately for that. And I think the body was, I can't remember, what's it called? German one. Get loads of meterage for your money. Can't remember. Anyway, I knit this a million years ago. It was a slow knit, to be honest. It was a bit of a faff, but I found it the other day, crumpled up in a drawer, sort of blocked it. So now it looks like it will still fit him. So he's 3.5. So I've blocked it. I need the end sewn in. It is a lightweight jumper because it is 4-ply. But pleased to have that done. You need to get the ends in, get it on him, get it photographed. Done, done, done. But yeah, that's loads of FOs this week. So I'm not quite sure what's going on now. I do like to, as the end of the month rolls around, I really like to kind of get more FOs out. So it's the 29th now. So I've got 2 days, and I kind of like to get things finished by the end of the month. I know my friend Jane, Knitting Jane, from Barrow, she does that too. But yeah, that's loads of FOs actually. So I'll just check what's on my list. What are we on now? 19 minutes. FOs, yeah, Strange Brew. So they're mainly tin can knits. Whips. Should we do whips? Did I bring them? No. Apparently I didn't bring them. I've got one. Is that enough? Okay. So this is a Soldotna. I'm knitting this for somebody for Christmas. Can't imagine she'll watch, but you never know. So this is mainly in Down Sheepy Lane yarn, which is Debbie. I got this yarn at Woolmonty. I've got a lot of yarn and I can often remember where it's all from. This is green, doesn't look that colour at all. I can often remember where it's from and I'm like, oh, well, I got this at so-and-so and I got this at so-and-so. I'm quite good like that. But yeah, this is another Soldotna, like the one I'm wearing, might I add. I have got a bright one in this, which I finished in, look at this bit, what's happening here? I finished in 5 days for EYF this year. The pattern had just come out, and when I went, lots of people thought I'd tested it because it'd only just come out. I was quite proud of that. Yes, I did that one in 5 days. I nearly melted at EYF though. Oh, it's the hottest place on the planet. And then I've got a dark, dark, dark one, which is all in Black Elephant yarn. I wore that for Yarndale. It was a bit chilly, really. I finished this one as a booth sample for Beth, Beehive Yarns. Again, this is all in DK. Really easy colour work, addictive colour work, really addictive. Because they're just such little short bits there. So this is, I've got it with jeans on, which isn't maybe the best look. I normally wear it with a dress. Yeah. So I actually changed a bit of the neckline because they've got too many short rows in this one, in the pattern. Can you see-ish? It's just got a little bit of short rows, but the pattern actually asks for loads of short rows. So my original one is a little bit like this, and I don't like it. And her pattern looks completely different. When you look at her pictures, Caitlin Hunter that is, when you look at her pattern pictures, they do look really different compared to what people are knitting. So my advice is either do no short rows or just do like one that way, and always German short rows because they're the best. Yeah, otherwise it just does funny things basically. But I am, so I've passed the little arrowy bits, so I'm what, nearly there, I'm here. So look, you can see I'm very, very close to splitting for the sleeves, so I just need to do this bit and split for the sleeves. I'm going to do a solid body. I'm not going to do it like this, but I need to do a proper one for Beth. I'm going to do a solid body in the green, and this is in theory priority because it needs to be done for Christmas, which is fast approaching. Yeah, it's kind of languished a little bit, so I need to kind of get on the case with this one. I'm a bit annoyed that I forgot my other whips. See, look, I think I've done too many short rows on this one, can you see? So that's the front, and then this is the back. I think I've not even listened to my own advice, and that's a bit deep, I think. Never mind. I was working on a sock as well, and I've not brought it over. I'm sure I got it. This podcast business is harder than it seems, you know. I definitely got it out, but it's in the living room. Anyway, I've been working on a sock, which is Down Sheepy Lane again, in the Baubles colourway. I've been posting that on my Instagram page, actually. And I put it on the podcasty one too. So I've been knitting on that. But because I've finished those hats and I finished a Christmas present for somebody else as well, which I can't show you, I'm going to cast on, I think, probably a sock head hat and try and bust out a couple of sock head hats for Christmas. I've got two sisters, and they've both got partners, husbands, and brother-in-laws are really hard to buy for. And supposedly we're toning back this year on presents. It never works, does it? So I'm planning on doing hats. I'm debating the strange brew hats and make your own up, but maybe a sock head hat too. Yeah, I want to do something like that anyway. Yeah, I don't want to do too much kind of obligation knitting, because then it just gets a bit stressy. I know my dad wouldn't necessarily wear a hat that I made. But yeah, I am planning on doing something or other, but I've not got anything, because I finished that jumper late last night. That was my priority. I've not got anything set in my mind, like, must get it done. I do have a jumper that's nearly finished, which is the party sweater, which is a cropped jumper with eyelets on the sleeves. And in theory, I could bust through that today and tomorrow and get that done for the end of the month, because that's a nice little fake goal that I've got for myself. But it's already 1 o'clock. I've got some jobs to do. I need to empty the dishwasher and fold all the washing and all that boring stuff. And I've got to go and pick up some parcels. And then it's school run time in 2 hours. So maybe not. Yeah, so this is Soldotna by Caitlin Hunter. And that is on my list to get done next. So I've not figured out how to put the little liney things in. So this is acquisitions. So this one arrived a couple of hours ago. It's crinkly. That's me. This is my advent calendar from Dusty Dimples. These are 5 grams in sock yarn. I don't normally do minis. I don't really do blankets or anything like that. But I'm thinking of doing the litmus cowl, which Amy of Stranded Dye Works kind of designed, which is free on Ravelry. So that's Litmus, Litmus, which is basically just a really long cowl. So I'm probably going to put like a grey background, and then it's like a stripy like a rainbow. Carly actually has just finished one for her little boy, so that's just come today. And she joked about this. She joked about picking a certain one for me, knowing that I like poppy colours. And another one came as well from a friend, because we order all together to save on postage, because postage is no fun, is it? Necessary evil. But this one has my name on it, so it's like, I wonder if she did pick all these colours for me, because that would be exciting, wouldn't it? So that came. So I'm excited about that. That starts on Sunday, which is December. What else has come this week? Do I show you that? Do I not show you that? Okay, I will. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at this bag. This is huge. This is, I mentioned these last week. This is Clara Rose Crafts, and she's on Etsy, and her bags are amazing. So you get like some charms here, little stitch markery progress keepers. And look, this is what I was telling you about, how amazing they were. I don't know how to focus this. But anyway. Oh, I've got mushrooms on. It's so cute. But look, it's huge. This is a large one. She has a bit of a sale on at the minute. Some are 10%, some are 15%. I don't think it's anything to do with Black Friday, because it was on just after Nottingham. But they are gorgeous. This one's really big. See? It's really big. It's lined with canvas inside. They're just so good. I love it. Totally love it. It's got a little charm here, which is her Clara Rose sign. But yeah, and then it says Merry Christmas on it. So how cute is this? I really like it. She's got some gorgeous Harry Potter ones. Have you seen this boy one, or the Most Wanted ones? You know, the black and white newspapery one, which I've been after for a while. So I've told Santa about it, but I don't know how much Santa listens. I'm hoping he does. But yeah, love anything out of her shop. Totally gorgeous. This is large, and it's totally beautiful. I love this fabric. It's called something Cats, which there's a couple of cats on. I'm not really the biggest cat fan. I don't mind them. But I'm just seeing houses and trees, are you? So yeah, totally gorgeous. Love it. Really big, really good garment size, and I like to knit garments in case you hadn't noticed. Oh, it's a bit rattly. Yeah, she does zipper ones as well, which are slightly cheaper, in different sizes and little notions pouches. And I spotted, oh, I need a drink. So Nightmare Before Christmas ones. There's a couple of Christmas ones in there too, like Christmassy. She must like cats. Quite a lot of cats ones. Oh, I really need a drink. Yeah, but they're gorgeous. So go and have a look. So that's Clara Rose Crafts on Etsy. She also does, if you spend over £10, she puts you in a draw for prizes at the end of the month. So that's really exciting. So you get like a raffle ticket, and she gives out loads of prizes a month, which is incredibly generous. Yeah, so just coming to a close now. So just to talk about Yorkshire Yarn Fest, which is tomorrow. So I'm in Leeds. I'm kind of north east-ish Leeds. So York isn't very far away from me. So just to clarify, this isn't in York. It is outside of York. There are transport links, but it's preferable if you drive, I guess. So it's about 35-40 minutes away from me. So I'm going to go in the morning. I'm super excited to go. I'm not necessarily after loads and loads, because obviously it's just been Nottingham and Christmases are coming. But Jen from Castleview Yarns it's her very first show, and I do want to go and get something from her. Beth, Beehive Beth, is also going to be there. She's my friend, so I can call her Beehive Beth. She's going to be there as well. So I'm going to take this. It'll be fine. I'm just going to take it off in a minute. I just wanted to podcast. I'll take this for her as well. Wool Kitchen's there. Snuggly Stars is there. The person that does the awesome cards with funny things on, can't remember her name. She's there, but it's in a converted barn. So they have said it is going to be a bit chilly, which is fine. We're knitters. We can come prepared. Yeah, there's sofas and stuff, and I'm sure they said that they were going to hire like, I want to say like street food, that kind of cute little, you know, like they have outside Yarddale. Anyway, someone to serve hot chocolate and stuff like that. But it looks really, really pretty. It's a free event, which is nice. It's the first one. So I think there are about 40 vendors. It looks like a really cute place. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. Last one of the season, of the year. Yeah, I've been to so many shows this year. I might do a little bit of a roundup because I have been to lots of them. And like, which one was my favourite? It's all about who I see. It's all about my friends. But a lot of my knit group are going as well. So quite a lot of the Knit Night, Barramuir Knit Night are going as well. So that's going to be really nice. And a few people from further afield. My friend Rebecca, I say friend, internet friend, Rebecca, who is in Scotland, is coming. She's got little twins. And I've sorted loads of clothes out, loads of kids' clothes out for her twins. And I can hand them all over to her, get out of my house, get into your house. I've just pulled a dressing gown off Martha's back door today, and I'm like, I'm sure this doesn't fit. It was 18 to 24. She's 6. So I'm going to put that in the bag too. So yeah, keen to pass things on as and when I can, really. Yeah, so that's, what else? Oh, I've got one more thing to tell you. This is a new to me designer and a new to me sweater. So this is, I'm going to say, the Sanguine sweater. So just so you can actually see it. And she actually has a sale on at the minute. I'm not sure if it's Black Friday related, but all her patterns are 50% off. She specialises in hats, mainly colour work actually. And she's got a couple of garments, but this one is really nice. It's very, in terms of the Soldotna, it's like an addictive knit, I guess. But a really fun way to play with colour. And look what this pattern does. So it's very size inclusive. So this is the pattern, and you get this little colouring in chart. So when I was knitting Theo's hat, there was a little bit in his hat that just sang to my neon-y heart. Let me get it. Where is it? There. Right, so this bit, where is it? This bit here, oh, I don't know how to make it not blurry. So this grey with the rainbowy speckles in is a Spectrum fibre. I've got 2 of those in DK. And then this one is Skeen Queen, which I got from EYF this year. And this neon I was kindly gifted from Gemma, from the Little Grey Girl. She sent me a load of yarn, which was super generous. I don't have much of this purple, but maybe with the pink. But how cool would that be? So I've actually printed a few of these off, and I'm going to sit at some point and colour in, because I did buy some felt tips the other day actually. I did a little story on it on my Christmas colour book, colouring in Christmas card book I got from Tesco. Yeah, so I'm really excited to cast this on actually. So I think that's probably going to be my next cast on. I don't know whether I'm going to try and do a Christmas jumper or not. Last year I did a Radiate. I've got 3 of those now. Hohi Locatelli, gorgeous pattern. Which I did the body in drops DK, and I did the top bit, which looks like brioche, isn't brioche. Maybe I'll wear it next week and show you. In hedgerow, in a Christmassy colourway. But I literally finished it at like 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve. It was a real slog. And then I was boiling on Christmas Day. We ended up going out for dinner last year, which was an experience. And it was really hot. So I'd probably want to do a 4-ply if I'm going to do a Christmas jumper. I am debating the off with your heads colourway, which Jen from Castleview Yarns has, which I might get tomorrow. Or I might just do a fun neon thing. Really excited about that one, and I think it's really important to do things you're excited about, like whilst things just need to get done. yeah, I'm really excited about that. So tomorrow I'm shipping my husband tends to work weekends. He tends to work a Saturday. So my kids are going to my mum and dad. So they're coming down to get them in the morning. I'll probably already be in York by then. In my new car, which we got last week. Super excited. So that's actually going to be the furthest journey I'll have drove on it. But it's big and high up and I feel very grown up in it. But they're taking the kids to their house in the northeast, and it's my dad's 60th birthday next week. Dum, dum, dum. So then we're joining them for lunch on Sunday. So when I get back from the show tomorrow, I'm debating going to the cinema. Rob will be at work, 'cause he works that end of the day anyway. It's a very busy environment, so he doesn't finish till 9:30ish, I don't think, on Saturday. So that's a write-off. So I might go to the cinema. I want to see Last Christmas, and I know Jane's keen to see that too. And she's normally my cinema buddy. I am not adverse to going to the cinema on my own at all. I've only started doing it this year. But my local cinema, which I go to View in Kirkstall in Leeds, it was really expensive actually. And now it's £5 for everything. And if you go on a Monday and you've got a special code, it's £4. Which compared to like some of my Londony friends, it's like criminal how much they pay. It's insane. So yeah, I want to go and see that. Martha's obviously wanting to go and see the new Frozen, but she's been too unwell this week. So depending on around my husband's shifts, can maybe squeeze it in after school one day, depending on what he's working. But we'll see. But we want to see that. But I really, really like knitting in the cinema. Really, really, really. I can knit without looking. But you do have to kind of prep, so you've got something cinema appropriate. So if I could get maybe a sockhead hat on the needles, that would be great. And knit one. Went to the theatre week before, to see We Will Rock You at the Leeds Grand Theatre, which was awesome. But I got loads of knitting on that, and that's a really teeny weeny theatre in terms of you sit like this. It's quite a claustrophobic environment. And I know that when we went, what did we see last year? We went to see Shrek last Christmas, and I was probably at my worst anxiety wise back end of last year. That's when it all kicked off. And I was so claustrophobic, but I just knit, and it kind of kept me in my seat, because you can't really get out. You're very hard. So I was a bit nervous about going this time, but it was fine because I'm much better now. Yeah, so that was really good to see We Will Rock You. My husband really wants to go and see Back to the Future. There's a new Back to the Future at the theatre next year, so that's what he wants for Christmas. So I think that's February maybe, in Manchester next year, so that's what he would like for Christmas. So yeah, so this weekend we're doing the Yorkshire Yarn Fest on Saturday, then back home, bit of knitting, and then go back to the northeast on Sunday for my dad's birthday, out for a meal, and then back home obviously for school and stuff later on the Sunday. So we'll see when I get this up. I'd really like some music and a bit of faffing, but I know my husband's not long since gone to work, so he won't be in until late, and then we'll be busy in the morning getting ready for the show, and then busy weekend. So I don't know whether I'll probably just put it up like I did last week. My lovely friend Emily has done me a logo for it, because I did just kind of cobble one together last week and it kind of got a bit cropped and stuff. So she's done a logo for me, so I might just kind of do it like that until we've got a bit more time to kind of figure out all the fancy things about it. And I'm hoping not to have to edit it. I hope I'm not too pausey, looky away. I'm a little bit worried that I'm looking at the wrong place in the camera. But anyway, I've waffled on enough and I need a kind of pop. Yeah, I'm going to have no time to knit today once I've gone out and done all the things I need to do. But I need to take something back to the shops. There's a sale on at Sainsbury's, so I might go and have a little peek at that. I was going to go for a haircut. It's getting a bit long. It is long for me. But then it's nearly Christmas, so shall I wait a bit? Who knows? Short hair problems. Right, so I'm going to wrap it up there. So thank you very much for coming. I don't plan on having this many FOs. I've still not decided on my schedule whether I don't think I can necessarily do every week. I might. Maybe every 2 weeks is probably a bit more realistic, isn't it? Especially if I try and edit it and do it a little bit more fancy. We'll say fancy loosely, shall we? I'd like to do it more than once a month. It is December 1st on Sunday. I don't think I'll be doing Vlogmas. Hello. Because I don't know what to do. I think you probably need a bit of editing skills to be able to do that. My friend Carly's doing it. She told me about it on Instagram. She didn't even tell me she was doing it. We tell each other everything. Seriously, how did she not even mention that? Rude. Joking, obviously. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that, but I will kind of do a little bit of Christmassy bits and bobs here and there. We've started to decorate. We've not got the tree up yet, but there's lots of lights up because it's dark, and the dark definitely affects your mood, definitely. It's so dark in the night, like they get in from like nursery and school and they're like, it's a bedtime, and it's like 4 o'clock. So I'm trying to fill the lights with house with lights, and I'm wanting to put a few outside as well, actually, but I need to do a bit of quitting back of dead stuff out the front before I can get lights up. I've just swept a load of soggy leaves up this morning. It's really nice blue skies actually today, which is nice because some days it looks like the day's not even started. So I'm going to get on and get all the stuff done and figure out what I'm going to knit next. I'd really like to get these. It'd be really nice to split for these sleeves today/tonight, and then get the body done. I don't know how much knitting I'll do tomorrow at the show, because I always take some and I never actually get anything done. But I am keen to get like a few Christmas presents and bits and bobs there. I am trying to kind of shop more local, more indie, that just a card campaign. I am kind of keen to do that. And I have got 2 presents so far, and they're both Etsy indie type things rather than just from Tesco or Amazon, which there is a need for it because dads are hard to buy for. It was my mum's birthday last week, a couple of weeks ago, and then it's my dad's birthday, and then it's Christmas. It's like, lots of things to buy for when people are hard to buy for. My mum's easy, but my dad's tricky. Anyway, I'm waffling now, Anna. Right, so thank you very much for coming. So you can like and subscribe. My kids think it's hilarious. I'm on YouTube. Like, Theo's obsessed with YouTube. He loves Ryan's World, and he really likes watching things getting squashed under car tyres. Is anyone else, a 3-year-old, liking that? Anyway, he thinks it's hilarious. I've got a YouTube channel, and Martha went to school this morning. She's like, have fun recording your podcast, Mummy. I'm going to tell my teacher. That's a bit scary. So yeah, if you want to like and subscribe and comment below, that's nice. That would be really nice. I hit over 100 on the last ones, which is really exciting for a first one. Try not to waffle too much. Kinks and stuff will get worked out as I go along. But yeah, really enjoying it so far. Yeah, it's really fun. So thank you very much for joining me and for being a part of it and chatting to me on Instagram. I'm hoping to do some stories tomorrow for the show, because I know not everyone can be there, and it's nice to kind of see what's going on. Sometimes it's a trek for people to get there, and it's nice to kind of see what's going on, if it's worth the trek up or down from wherever. Most people are down, aren't they? As in southwise. Up to York, whether things are worth the trek. And this show is actually, there's another one on in March, so it's great to kind of get a bit of an insight on how this one's working for the next one. So I'm going to get on, shake a leg, get a wriggle on, but thank you very much for coming. Goodbye.